Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome back to my channel. Not too long ago, maybe a month or so ago, a YouTuber named Bailee Pilon, I don't know if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly, she did a video entitled Makeup YouTube Made Me Want. I didn't know about Bailee until one of my YouTube friends named Lucia did a video on her channel shouting out a bunch of her favorite YouTubers, and she mentioned Bailee, and she also mentioned the video Makeup YouTube Made Me Want that Bailee had done. So I immediately went over to Bailee's channel and I watched that video and I thought, what a great, I don't know, video idea. And I commented and I was like, hey, I really want to do this video and I will definitely give you total 100% credit for it. I don't know if she got the idea from someone else. I don't think she did. Bailee, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're watching this, hi. And I lost my train of thought because an airplane flew by. I feel like this video is kind of like an anti-haul. I've never done an anti-haul on my channel before. I just thought it would be silly because I don't buy a lot of makeup to begin with, so it would kind of just be me listing like literally everything that's coming out, because I don't buy makeup like right when it comes out, or even I don't know, like I go months between buying makeup. So but I have been watching beauty gurus or like beauty, you know, influencers on YouTube for a few years now, and I've encountered a lot of different products that like these videos made me want, but I didn't go out and purchase. But I thought some of them I really thought about purchasing for a really long time, but maybe they weren't cruelty free, or like I couldn't figure out if they were cruelty free. Or maybe it was like an eyeshadow palette and I wasn't sure if I wanted to buy an eyeshadow palette because I didn't know if I would get enough use out of it. If you haven't checked out one of my recent videos, which was me breaking my no buy, I did finally buy an eyeshadow palette after almost 2 years of not getting a new eyeshadow palette. So a lot of these eyeshadow palettes, or a couple of them, came out when like the warm toned like eyeshadows were all over the place, and I wanted quite a lot of them, so I'm going to mention a couple of them here. But without blabbering for too much, I'm going to get started with number one, Morphe palettes. I should like sit off to the side here like the professionals do, so I could put pictures up, huh? Yeah? Let's do that. Okay. So Morphe palettes. There were quite a few Morphe palettes that I wanted. Number one, when the Jaclyn Hill palette came out, I really wanted that because the pops of color really drew my eye. It had gorgeous like forest greens, and then it had those like teals and blues that I didn't have in my collection, but it also seemed to have a lot of the warm toned eyeshadow colors, like the neutral ones, that I also didn't have because I hadn't picked up any of those like warm toned eyeshadow palettes. So it kind of had everything that I was looking for, and I tried to buy it and it was out of stock, and then like it came back in stock and then I wasn't sure if I wanted it. And then one of the like cruelty-free blogs that I follow has Morphe in their gray area, and I don't know, so like I just don't know 100% if they're cruelty-free or not, so I haven't gotten any Morphe palettes. But that was definitely the first one I wanted. There was also one of their, like, it was all colorful eyeshadows. They had a palette that was like all colors, and I don't know what name it was. I'll probably put it somewhere on the screen. And then they also had their first warm toned palette, and then like they came out with the second one that I wanted. So there were, I guess, 4 Morphe eyeshadow palettes that I had my eye on, but I just haven't bought any because I don't know if Morphe's cruelty-free. It seems like they may not be. Number 2 is NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, and also their like foundations. So, but it was mainly the concealer. I definitely, before they started selling in China, when they used to be cruelty-free, I definitely had the NARS concealer in my basket at Sephora. That is definitely a trick that I use quite often when there's a product that I've seen on YouTube or wherever that I want, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it yet, so I put it in my cart and I kind of like step away from the Sephora website for a long time, like a few weeks, most of the time longer than that, and then I'll come back to it maybe when I actually need something because I ran out of something, and I would see the, you know, the NARS concealer, and I was like, I don't know if I want to spend that much money, I don't know. I eventually took it out of my cart for one reason or another. I don't remember if it was before they started selling in China or not, but regardless, they are no longer cruelty-free, so I will not be getting the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer, but I definitely wanted it for a while because I think Tanya Burr used it a lot in her videos, and now I am unsubscribed from her, but when I would watch her tutorials, it seemed like she was always using the NARS Creamy Radiant Concealer. Number 3 is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder. Now I still want this, but similar to the Morphe brand issue, I don't know if Kevyn Aucoin is cruelty-free. I have found one blog, like one cruelty-free blog, that has said that they are, but I usually go to Logical Harmony or Cruelty Free Kitty, and neither of them have any mention of Kevyn Aucoin. So I mean, I could check again, but I feel like I've checked a lot and I can never see anything on whether they have said that it's cruelty free or not. So I don't know, that's why I haven't gotten it yet. And also it's pretty expensive, but I will pay for it. I've heard just great things about it, and I will pay the $40 or however much it is, even though the cost of that one pan of powder is the same cost as the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. I don't know, I'll do it. I am almost out of my contour shade of the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, whatever it's called, Somber or Shadow Play, I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me. I'm sniffing, I'm still sick. Anyway, number 4. This is one of the warm toned eyeshadow palettes. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This came out and YouTube went crazy over it. Oh my goodness. And it is so beautiful. Also, a lot of the you know, Project Panning channels that I follow have said that it's just such a soft, buttery, like powdery, I don't know if buttery and powdery are like opposites. I might be using that incorrectly. But anyway, the formula is in such a way that it is a very easy formula to pan. And I'm also really drawn to that because I look at palettes in terms of, can I use this? How often am I going to use this? Is it something that I will be able to pan in the future? And I don't know, I've just heard that like it's so blendable, and then the warm tones just I'm really drawn to because I have really warm toned complexion, and I don't know, I just really like that look. But I never got it, and I still haven't gotten it, and I've just held back. Like, it's definitely been in my top 3 warm toned eyeshadow palettes that I have been thinking about buying for, I guess, a couple years. Was that 2016 or 2017? I honestly can't remember. But yeah, it was one of them that was on my list that I really wanted, and I just held back because I really think for a really long time about my purchases, and that extends into my makeup and beauty purchases. Number 5 is Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight palettes. So one of them in particular is the Moonchild palette. I love moons. I have a crescent moon tattooed on the back of my neck. I love moons. I love moon aesthetic. Anything that says moon, I automatically want. Because I am a minimalist, I don't automatically go out and buy anything that says moon. I do think a lot before I go out and buy anything. But I get the temptation, I want it. And the fact that there are these like cool different colors and things on your cheeks, and I don't know, like it just seems so fun, but I would not get enough use out of it. I just wouldn't. I know myself, I tend to lean towards a more like natural highlight. I honestly just haven't been wearing highlight on my face very much recently anyway. My blush, my only blush is my Milani Luminoso, and that has like a sheen to it anyway, and I just have not been loving the texture of my skin lately either, so I haven't wanted to draw attention to it. So I just haven't gotten any of the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight palettes or any of their highlighters because I just know that I wouldn't get enough use out of it to make it worth it. So I don't know, I sit back and I admire people who have it. I believe Elle has the Moonchild palette, and when she uses it I get really excited because I kind of like live vicariously through her. And she is the perfect person to have like different colored highlights because she plays with color so much with her makeup. So it just wouldn't fit into my personal lifestyle, but it didn't stop me from wanting it. Number 6 are Becca highlights. This is actually something I still might get. Probably Moonstone, or I don't know, whatever one you got. I don't know which one would work best with my complexion. Maybe Champagne Pop because I have a slightly warmer complexion. So yeah, I still might get it in the future, but like I said, I just haven't been wearing highlight on my face that much, and I still have a good amount of my Mary Luminizer left over, and I do want to use that up before I get myself a new highlight. Number 7, I'm not holding up my fingers. I have my phone in my other hand, so I don't have 7 fingers on my hand. But anyway, is the ColourPop Yes Please palette. So this was also in my like top 3 warm toned eyeshadow palettes that I really wanted, and it looks so beautiful. And there are definitely about 3 or 4 shades in that palette that I am really drawn to, but I just don't want to be a victim of the pop effect. I've seen a couple of videos here on YouTube about the pop effect and how like it draws your eye to a few shades in the palette, but the rest of the palette, if you kind of cover up those shades that get your attention, it just looks like a normal average palette. So it's like the yellow and a really like metallic, fiery like orange coppery shade, and there's like a red, and those I'm really drawn to, but the rest I'm kind of bored by. And I actually held it in my hand recently. I was over at my friend Alyssa's and she has that palette, and I was looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. Now I have my BH Cosmetics palette, which has like a yellow and an orange and a red, and so I'm happy with that. Going off of ColourPop, the 8th thing that YouTube made me want are ColourPop lipsticks in general. So I did buy a few ColourPop lipsticks, but I feel like I'm bombarded with ColourPop lipsticks. I know Zoella wears them quite a lot, and before I unsubscribed from Kathleen, she wears them all the time because she collabs with them all the time. She has a lot of her own like products with them. And so I just, yeah, like I was always like, oh, I want more ColourPop lipsticks. They're so cheap, blah, blah, blah. And I actually have used up a ColourPop lipstick, and I'm almost done with another one. So in terms of panning, they're pretty easy, but I just feel like I always want them. Number 9, Fenty Beauty. So this year, was it this year or the end of last year? I don't know. Fenty Beauty came onto the makeup scene and blew everyone away with their huge range of foundation shades, and everyone, like not everyone, but a lot of people like their foundation. It's matte and like great for oily skin people and full coverage. So that's kind of right up my alley. I feel like the formula would work pretty well for me, especially when I'm filming or on stage, but I haven't gotten it at this time because I'm still working on a little bit that's left of my Kat Von D Lock-It foundation, and like I have that on my face today. And then for every day I have my Naked Skin foundation, which is just fantastic for everyday wear, although it just goes so fast. Am I using too much? Maybe. I have no idea. I do also want to try to experiment with some more drugstore foundations. I think it just seems like there are less cruelty-free drugstore brands than high-end, and I just haven't heard like a ton of great things about the cruelty-free drugstore brand foundations. Like nothing's really, I don't know. And then I'm very timid about buying new foundations because I don't want it to like not match me. I think I was kind of, you know, I don't want to say traumatized because I don't want to downplay that, but I would get made fun of in high school for having like the stark line between my face and my neck because I didn't like know how to blend it down my neck or like match my face to the foundation or whatever, so I was always made fun of for that. So I kind of like take that into my adulthood, and I just get really freaked out about buying new foundations. But that's why you return them, Heather, duh. And the last makeup item that YouTube made me want is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Now this one on this entire list might be the one that I get the soonest, honestly. I haven't gotten it yet, and I've held off because I am so close to being done with my contour shade, my Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. And I know it's a bronzer, but I remember Kathleen Lights using it all the time as like a contour because it's not super warm toned. And then they did come out with a light version, but I think I still might get the original because I would primarily use it for contouring and not like bronzing so much. So yeah, I still might get that. I've heard that it smells amazing, and Physicians Formula is cruelty free, and it's like a lot more affordable than the Kevin & Kwan sculpting powder, which may or may not be cruelty free. I have no idea. So those things just are really like selling me on it, and a ton of YouTubers that I follow or used to follow have mentioned it. So we are getting to that time of day where planes are flying overhead like every minute. So I'm trying to stop talking while they're flying over. So if you've heard like the beginning or like ending of planes flying overhead, or if I've like talked through them, I'm really, really sorry. The message of this video is that you can want makeup and be exposed to a lot of different new products, and not have to go out and buy it. Like you can sit there and you can let yourself want it for a while, because makeup is not a necessity. You don't need it to survive. I do understand that there's a lot of insecurity that comes with wearing makeup. A lot of people, and I know me in high school, like I needed to slap on makeup all over my face to cover up all my pimples. I was very insecure about my face. So I do understand that that is really important to people. But I think for a lot of different makeup products, like a highlight palette, I don't know, you don't need it to survive. So you can let yourself want the product for a while before you get it. And you know what? If you wait enough time, you won't want it anymore. And then you just saved yourself like 40 bucks on a foundation or a powder. So that is it for this video today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy content like this, definitely subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.